Ìjẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ bá ti dùn ó, kóńgà tẹ̀lé, àtẹ̀lé, ìjó máa tẹ̀lé.
The word palace has a Latin root from palatium, which happens to be the proper name of one of the 7 hills of Rome. It was on Palatium, the house of Augustus, and later the palace of Caesars were situated. Thereafter, the official residence of an emperor, king, pope, or other sovereign rulers. Even an archbishop is called a palace. The Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́, the Ọọ̀ni of Ife, and the Ọba of great rulers living in magnificent palaces. The palace is traditionally the heart of the city. Just as the king is the soul of his people, all powers and decisions come from the king, and no one can challenge his authority. Reason why the king is called Kábíyèsí, no one dares query you. Can you now imagine one big city with a population of several millions without a palace, or shall we say, an official or central palace? This is Ibadan, the land of 1,000 warlords. Built on 7 hills, like the eternal city of Rome, Ibadan has no palatium like Rome. Rather, each ruler or king that comes to the throne or leadership of Ibadan uses his private residence or family compound as his palace. Spread over 7 points, Ibadan, with a population of over 3 billion from different ethnic and religious backgrounds. Ibadan's uniqueness is immortalized in the verse by the great poet Professor John Pepe Clark Bekediremu, who saw Ibadan as a running splash of gold and dust, flung and scattered among 7 hills like a broken china in the sun. Ibadan today is the political headquarters of the Western Nigeria and home of several firsts. First university, first television in Africa, first teaching hospital, first skyscraper, first government secretariat, even the first national unity. The uniqueness and greatness of Ibadan has to do with its history. Located at the edge of the savannah, at a crossroad of trade routes between the north and south, the first Ibadan supposedly was founded by a great warrior from Ile-Ife. However, this first Ibadan was destroyed because of the desecration of the Egungun. The political pressure and intertribal wars of the 19th century in Yoruba land forced a lot of people to look for a safe haven, which they found in Ibadan. In no time, Ibadan became a settlement of many tribes: the Egbas, the Ijebus, the Ifes, the Owus, and the Oyos. Battle for political control and supremacy by these different tribal groups led to a lot of conflicts and turbulence and riots, which resulted in the ascendancy of the Oyo group. Among the groups in Ibadan was such that some used to describe this attitude that àìwáyé kámọ́ lárùn kan lára, ìjà ìgboro lárùn Ìbàdàn, meaning there is no one without a fault or weakness. Infighting, turbulence of Ibadan. The current Ibadan was reorganized among the various groups around the 1820s. The descendants of Lagelu became the Aboke. The Laboside group became Abore or kingmakers, whilst the main Oyo group under Ibaoluyole became the dominant power. The very nature of the emergence of Ibadan did not allow for a central palace. Each leader is a warlord with his own standing army. Every emergent leader, therefore, uses his private residence or family compound as the palace. Therefore, the tradition of shifting or rotating of Ibadan Palace from one compound to another. In preparation for World Monuments and Sites Day, a special team of the Oyo State Ministry of Information kíkúnlé sàlẹ́nsà ọmọ mùsùlùmí tó fà pólì èrò tó ń lọ London ẹ bá mi kí Káyọ̀dé kídà tírí gbẹ̀kú tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ọmọ Ìbàdàn tó di nígà ọmọ wòlíì tó ń fà tábà Bàṣírà Sùsára kò tàǹbà òmùgọ̀ fẹ́ àìrógùn ládà wọ́n dẹ̀ ní mọ̀mọ́ rẹ̀ fẹ́ rí àpáàdà kí dẹ̀ tún oyè tó ń wá bẹ́kùn àìtọ́nà fúntàn ó sì sẹ́kù ká tó fẹ́ fi fáńdélẹ̀ ó ti sẹ́kù. The first Olubadan was Okunla Aleshinloye Abbas. Later, Olubadan Gbadamosi Adebimpe was the first to wear a beaded crown in 1976. It was during his reign that the first attempt was made and a central palace was built at Ojaiba, but it was consequently abandoned. Ibadan has reached a consensus since 1992 to build a befitting central palace, of which the first phase is in progress at the Okearemo area of Ibadan.
We have palaces in Ibadan land, and what we have done this year under this new exco is that palaces, we have even turned them, when you see our calendar for this year, it depicts those palaces, the palace of Refin, the palace of Arela Tosa, even the palace of Obadebimpe, the first Olubadan to wear beaded crown. Now, we insist, have decided to regard these palaces as listed monuments, and we are organizing. We already have a committee. We have 20 working committees. One of the committees is saddled with the responsibility of establishing collaboration between the government and the owners of those palaces, the families. Because when we travel to Kenya, these are the things we see. We have tour guides that take us to such places and they just get stipends, So our own is to make sure that these palaces and monuments are actually of economic benefit with the support of an organization like the CCRI. Already done that, we will send some to your ministry. The Ojaba Palace, as you know, is being used as a meeting point for the Olubadan and its high chiefs of the new Obas. Okay. The new palace, the land was allocated to Ibadan in 1992 or 1990. The palace, this Ibadan house, is within the premises of the palace.
So within the palace grounds?
Yes. And when you see what we have there, you will see that it's a complete palace project. We expected it to be bigger than any other palace in Nigeria. Okay. What we are doing at the moment is phase one.
Okay.
To get something, ready for our.
What do we call these many residences of Ibadan kings? Technically, whether small or big, we can still regard them as palaces, for Ibadan's uniqueness has redefined the concept of palace. These residences of Ibadan rulers are monuments that are the proud heritage of the Ibadan people, who can proudly say that a king of Ibadan once lived and ruled from here.